Go. So my name is Bryce Tubbs. Welcome to today's episode. With me today is Chelsie Ward. She's a functional wellness practitioner and health coach. And she helps busy professionals to recover, hormone health and balance weight and metabolism so they can shine, confidently and have the energy needed for success. Thank you so much for coming on the show today, Chelsie.
Thank you so much, Bryce. I'm grateful to be here.
Excellent. I actually have a bonus question that I just thought about. It's probably in line with what we're talking about, but I think you're going to be a really great expert at this question. Can you talk about what life was like before you got into coaching, and then really what was the driver that brought you to where you are now?
Yeah, absolutely. So I kind of went on my own journey. It was a health journey. I was sick. I was a nurse by background. Kind of been a little bit sick most of my life, not really seemingly sick to most people, but I did have, a lot of symptoms in my physical body that I felt on a regular basis. And when I went to school to become a nurse, I realized that I was not only sick myself, but I was helping sick patients, and we were getting the same story. And that story was that we needed to fill our bodies full of medications and surgery in order to get well. And after getting so sick, I ended up pretty much coming to what I called rock bottom of my health. And that was just a place of, me crying out to God saying, hey, there has to be something better for me than this life of sickness. So what is that? I learned to heal my body naturally, my own way. I couldn't find any doctors to partner with. So that's why I do what I do today, because I wanted to be that partner in health with people who are on a similar journey to me, looking for lifestyle changes so that they could heal their bodies naturally as well.
Who do you generally work with?
So I do work a lot with busy entrepreneurs, busy professionals, and that's because I feel like I was that person myself. I was burning the candle at both ends. I was running, I was driving myself on the ground. I was, chronically stressed, running busy, saying, I don't have time for health because I'm an entrepreneur. I'm busy. I need to be successful. And I think I let success kind of take over my health. And I resorted to fast food and, all those different things that make us sick. And I think so many people fall into that trap today. So my heart really is for those people, because I know exactly how to still be able to live that busy, successful life and be able to manage your health all at the same time. So it's really just creating that life of balance.
Can I, so look, I'm trying to think of how to ask this in a way that's not like, duh. But what are some hidden things that cause us to, either gain weight or get out of balance hormonally outside of just like regular stressors?
Yeah, so chronic stress on the body is probably one of the worst things for our, people today. So our ancestors dealt with just everyday stressors like being chased by a tiger. Their stress wasn't as prevalent as what we have today. Today we have toxins. We're bombarded by toxins on a daily basis. From the water we drink to the air we breathe to the food we eat, they're sprayed with pesticides. We're taking medications on a regular basis. Even if we're drinking regular water and we're drinking from just regular cow's milk, we're bombarded with toxins through medications and things like that are just in our drinking beverages. And then you take, family stress, relational stress, and then the other hidden stressors that come in the form of like gut health. We're talking bacteria, parasites, all those different things. Because our food is so compromised, our gut gets compromised, and then that becomes another stressor. So because we're so chronically stressed, not only from an emotional standpoint, but from a physical standpoint and a chemical standpoint, I think that's where a lot of it is hidden. And what I do is pretty much investigate into the health of a person so that I can find what areas are their hidden stressors. Is it your gut? Is it your hormones? Is it the food that you're eating? Is it your relationships? Is it the cluttered life that you live? And it's really investigating into those specific pieces and finding out what is the missing piece of the puzzle for you specifically so that we can help you get well.
Nice. Can I ask you this question? So So what do you think has been like the biggest either lesson or thing that you've taken out of, the slowdown quarantine time?
For me, it is completely self-reflection.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that, and you can probably relate to this because you're busy, you're an entrepreneur, you want to go. And I think a lot of times for a lot of the people that I worked with, life didn't slow down. Life actually become busier because we found a way to work behind our computers more where we were working face to face. And we found ourselves in our home, and it was easy to sit behind the computer from the time we wake up until the time we go to bed. And I fell into that trap in the very beginning of this whole COVID thing. And I realized after a week or so that I was really feeling like tip-top stress. And as I started to try to figure out what it was, I realized that I wasn't able to be creative because I wasn't allowing myself time to be creative. And I believe that creativity comes from rest. It comes from being in nature. It comes from enjoying a relationship with another person. It comes from all these different things that allow our mind to work that's not like bombarding us in our work, in our everyday mundane tasks, right? So I just learned that I needed to take a step back. And during this time, I've meditated more. I've got out in nature more. I focused on me. I focused on what I really wanted for life. And really learned how to love human beings more because of everything that we're seeing, the garbage and, all the things in the news and all the stressors that we're being bombarded with. The biggest takeaway for me is I need to learn to love other people so that they can love themselves, so they can see love and be able to find that so they can love themselves in return. So I know that's kind of a deep answer. I'm a pretty deep thinker though. So that's really just what I got from this whole thing. It was my lesson.
So, a lot of people watching are probably deep thinkers, but sometimes when they think too deeply on the wrong things, they tend to, get even more stressed out. Can you talk about, clearing your mind so you can actually be able to meditate?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is really hard for a lot of people. And the way that I enter into a meditation, and everybody's probably going to tell you a little bit differently because I think meditation is a very unique experience. And for me, it just entails getting grounded. The easiest way for me to do it is to be out in nature, but we don't always have that every day, right? Some of the followers you have are probably, in New York City in a high rise, and nature just doesn't exist there. So if you don't have that and you can't get grounded or get your feet in the grass or go literally hug a tree or kiss a flower, then the best thing is to get into a place that you feel very comfortable, that you feel centered, that you feel like you can enter into a quiet place. And for me, I will play some sort of high frequency music just to kind of drown out a little bit of the noise around me. And then frequencies actually can take us into another meditative state or another state. It helps our brain waves. So that actually helps you enter into more of a meditative state without you even trying. And then another big thing that I like to do is just do deep breathing exercises. So I really start to slow down. I'll take a few deep breaths in, maybe to a count of 4, hold it for a count of 4, release it for a count of 4, hold again for a count of 4. So I'm really relaxing my body. I'm entering into that parasympathetic state. And then after I've done that for a few rounds, I'll just breathe in and out, just very slowly. And then to meditate, you really just want to begin to tune into the things around you, the things in nature. What do you hear? What do you sense? What do you feel? You'll begin to hear sounds that you were not even paying attention to. You may hear a bird outside your window. You may hear something, the refrigerator kick on in your kitchen. You may hear something like that happen. So really what happens is the spirit is actually beginning to tune into the world around it so it can allow you to go within. And if you'll keep continuing to focus on that breath and focus on just those noises, it's almost like things just really begin to melt away. And you'll hear and see thoughts passing. So they'll pass by. And the key to meditation really is just to allow those thoughts to continue to pass by without attaching any sort of emotion to them. So if you think about work, then allow it to pass by, but don't get attached to it emotionally. just watch it pass by. And I like to say, kind of like you see smoke pass through a screen, you're going to do that same thing with your thoughts, and just let them pass by. And then at the end of my meditation, what I usually like to do is just come back into the room and really just kind of visualize my day and how I want it to be and how I expect it to be. And then just, start my day. So my meditations are usually in the morning for that reason.
Can you talk about the visualization? Like, what does that entail? I've heard a lot of different, descriptions of what visualization means to people.
Yeah. So for me, if I'm going to do a daily visualization, it's just going to be, what do I want my day to look like? So I feel like if we can see it in our mind's eye first, we can have it in reality. So if I'm thinking about a stressful day and I have meetings back to back to back, then I can think about that and not really plan it out and think, oh gosh, this is such a stressful day. I've got meetings. What am I going to do? When am I going to grab lunch? But if I can visualize myself being successful in that before my day even starts, and I can say, and I can think about, okay, this is my meeting. This is how it's going to go. That was a great conversation. I hang up the phone. Okay, I've got about 10 minutes. I'm going to take a break. I'm going to grab some water. Everything's peaceful, and then I'm thinking about my lunch. I'm thinking about the errand I need to run. I'm thinking about, and it seems very simple, but you're thinking about yourself being successful in everything. And when we do that, you, Bryce, as a speaker and an entrepreneur and someone who is in front of the public, you may see yourself being successful in front of the public. Instead of being nervous about giving a talk to somebody, you're going to see yourself as being successful. And it really just sets us up for success. You can even take this a step further, though, and visualize your future. And this is one of the things that I do with my clients or, people that I'm mentoring. And it's really just helping them walk through a visualization experience so that they can see themselves in the future, helping them create a picture that they will be able to see in the future. And it's not about now, it's about what do I want later? Not worrying about how I'm going to get there or when it's going to happen, but just knowing that I've created this picture for my future that I can pull down into my reality at any time, focus on it, believe that that thing can come to pass, and just watch things unfold before me that actually make that a reality.
Yeah, that's a lot. It's deep, But it works. A lot of people don't take the time to go that deep and really think. They say, oh my gosh, I visualized this thing and, I'm making X amount of dollars now. I'm not making $1 million tomorrow. And they lied to me at the visualization thing.
Yeah, it's hard. And that is the hard part. And I see clients do that. I see them make the mistake. And it's like, one thing that we have to remember is that it's not our job to figure out how sometimes. We want to know how it's going to happen. We want to know when it's going to happen. What we need to focus on is believing that it will, having faith in the outcome, and just continuing to focus on it. And there's nothing wrong with setting small goals to get there. I see my big picture in my mind could be my husband and I on a yacht and we're enjoying life and we're not, we're just like the wind's blowing in our hair. We have great tans. We're physically fit. We're just, we're wealthy. That could be my picture, right? Mm-hmm. And that's not what I'm doing today, but it can be something that I have a hold of in my mind that I can create my future toward that. So how am I going to get there? Well, you can't get a tan unless you get in the sun, and you can't get a fit body unless you work out. And you can't get wealthy unless you work for it, right? So if I see that picture and that's my future, then that is what I'm dreaming of to be able to grab a hold of one day. And the more that I hold on to that, the more that I'm going to do the activities that actually take me into that place so that I can one day achieve that.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this question. So just sticking in line with our conversation about vision, what's the vision for your life or as far out into the future as you'd like to go?
I guess it would depend on life and business and things like that. For me, because I'm a business owner, I think that sometimes we think differently. Sometimes we create differently because our life is our business and our business is our life, right? So for me, it would be creating that work-life balance. And I think it really, if you have that as a goal, like I do, it is learning to do that now and today instead of waiting until the future to do that. And I think that's where we mess up so many times is we say, in the future, I want this. And we don't think about that every decision that we're making on a daily basis is driving us closer to that or further away from that. So here's my vision for my future. And that is that, yes, I will have that life with my husband that we enjoy, and maybe not the picture on the yacht, right? But it will be a life that we can enjoy, and we can travel the world and we can see things and we can enjoy people. We can have great relationships and all these things. And that I have built a business around my life instead of building a life around my business. And I'll go back to say that that is one thing I work on today. And I don't always do the best job of that. And that is, I want to create my life around my life, not my life around my business, because that's what truly gives us that place of balance, that place of creativity. So in the future, I truly see myself with a successful business, with people that know exactly how I want my business run so they can help me run it, while I can enjoy the world and pay them really well to do the job that I expect them to do, right? So freedom, I guess, freedom and balance, that's my future.
Nice. You know, do you have any special projects coming out, like a conference, a course, one-on-one openings, book? I don't know.
Yeah. So I am the author of Healed His Way, so I'll show you that.
Nice.
This is available on Amazon or my website at chelsieward.com. And I do have a signature program coming out, and you guys can stay tuned for that. I am actively interviewing clients right now. It's not necessarily a program for everyone, but it is for people who are very serious about taking their health to the next level. We focus on the entire being. That's spirit, soul, and body. And that's focusing on mindset. That's focusing on dialing in your diet, eating the right foods for your specific body. And then there's a huge mindset component. And then we talked a little bit earlier about hidden stressors. And that's a huge component of that program as well. And I do have other smaller programs that are available all the time. They're available right now. And I just take interviews on a regular basis for people who are interested in taking their health to the next level. And those are pretty much open enrollment all the time. I take a limited amount of people each month, and that's just so I can offer the best quality service, because I do work one-to-one on clients that I bring into my program. So I want to make sure that I can offer them a good service when I do that.
Nice. Where can they go to either connect with you further, or where can they go to learn more about you and what you have going on?
So I'm very active on social media, on Facebook. Connect with me at Chelsie Ward. My business page is Chelsie Ward Wellness, or you can friend me at Chelsie Ward. And chelsieward.com is my website. So it's really easy. Everything's Chelsie Ward. If you're an Instagrammer, it's Chelsie Ward Wellness. LinkedIn is Chelsie Ward. So very easy to connect.
Thank you for your time. I really appreciate you coming on and really just sharing some of your experience and, some tips with us.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Excellent. And for those watching, we thoroughly hope and, that you have found some great value and you have enjoyed this. Now, if you've been searching for a place where, people are improving themselves and helping others do the same, I recommend you go and check out our free community. I'm going to put some links either above or below the video. It's basically a mastermind where people come together and support each other every single day. So if that is what you have been searching for, I want to invite you to join us inside of this community by clicking the link either above or below the video. Now, I hope that you enjoyed watching this video as much as we enjoyed creating it. Feel free to hit that share button so other people can get some great value as well. Have a great day. Talk to you soon. We're done recording in 3 and 2 and